Do you feel like your emotions sometimes hold you back from truly living life on your terms? Imagine being able to stay calm and composed no matter what life throws at you. The secret lies in mastering your emotions, and the Stoic philosophers knew this well. Today, we'll dive into their timeless wisdom, exploring how Stoicism teaches us to manage emotions, reclaim inner peace, and live with clarity and purpose. By understanding the true nature of emotions and applying practical Stoic principles, you can take control of your emotional world and transform how you navigate life's challenges. Let's get started. 1. Understanding emotions. Have you ever felt like your emotions were running wild, pulling you in directions you didn't want to go? Perhaps it was a moment of anger, anxiety, or even excitement that clouded your judgment and left you feeling out of control. The Stoics believed that while emotions are a natural part of life, they don't have to control us. Instead, by understanding where our emotions come from and learning to manage them, we can live a life of inner peace and clarity. As Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." To truly understand emotions in the Stoic sense, we need to differentiate between things that are within our control and those that are not. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic and feel frustrated, it's not the traffic itself that causes the frustration, it's your perception of it. The Stoic approach would be to recognize that the traffic is beyond your control, but your reaction to it is entirely up to you. This realization helps you let go of negative emotions that arise from things you cannot change, allowing you to focus on what you can control, your thoughts and actions. A classic example of Stoic emotional mastery comes from Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher. He taught that when something undesirable happens, we should remind ourselves that it's not the event itself, but our interpretation of it that disturbs us. In his discourses, he illustrated this point by recounting the story of a man who lost his ship in a storm. Rather than lamenting the loss, the man accepted it calmly, recognizing that he had no control over the sea or the storm. What he did have control over was his response. He chose acceptance over despair, demonstrating the Stoic ideal of emotional resilience. One of the most practical Stoic exercises is to pause when you feel an emotion rising. Before reacting, ask yourself, is this within my control? By identifying whether the source of your emotion is something you can influence, you can decide how to respond in a way that aligns with Stoic principles. This simple act of mindfulness allows you to separate yourself from the emotional chaos and maintain your inner calm. By understanding and managing your emotions through Stoic practices, you'll find that many of life's challenges become easier to navigate. You'll no longer feel at the mercy of every emotional wave that comes your way. Instead, you'll experience a profound sense of peace, knowing that you have the tools to master your emotional world no matter what happens. 2. Challenging negative thoughts. Have you ever wondered why negative thoughts often appear during the most important moments of your life? Just when you need focus and calm, they rush in, sending your mind into a spiral of chaos. How can you control them, maintaining peace and concentration amidst challenges? In today's society, pressure from work, studies, and social relationships often leads people to anxiety. Negative thoughts frequently arise, and without strategies to manage them, they can cause stress, depression, and a decline in the quality of life. Stoicism advises us to challenge these thoughts instead of being swept away by temporary emotions. One of Marcus Aurelius's famous quotes is, "We are not disturbed by things, but by the view we take of them." This means that how we react to events is not determined by the nature of those events, but by our perception and evaluation of them. Let's say you face a difficult situation, like losing your job. Instinctively, you might start thinking, "I'll never find a better job," or "I'm not good enough." However, according to Stoicism, these are just subjective thoughts and do not reflect reality. Stoicism teaches that you must view these thoughts objectively, like observing a cloud passing through the sky, understanding that they are temporary and not the whole of your reality. To challenge negative thoughts, you can begin by asking yourself, is this thought really true? Or does it actually benefit me? For instance, a Stoic merchant in ancient Rome, after losing his entire fortune in a storm, did not panic or despair. He understood that wealth was an external thing that did not affect his inner worth. Instead of reacting with fear, he continued with gratitude for what he still had. In modern life, each time a negative thought appears, you can pause and assess it. If that thought holds no practical value or doesn't help you grow, choose to replace it with a more constructive one. For example, instead of thinking, "I can never do this," try replacing it with, "This is an opportunity for me to learn and grow." When you successfully challenge a negative thought, you will feel a sense of lightness in your mind, freed from invisible burdens. You will no longer be trapped in anxiety or disappointment, but instead, you'll find calmness and clarity. This not only improves your mental well-being, but also helps you face challenges more effectively. Start practicing today. The next time a negative thought appears, pause and ask yourself, is this thought truly useful to me? Then share your experience, and let's discuss how you've challenged and overcome negative thoughts in your daily life. 3. Practicing acceptance. Sometimes life throws us into situations where all efforts to change them seem futile. Instead of trying to fight against things beyond our control, why not take a different approach? Maybe it's the unnecessary struggle itself that leaves us feeling drained and stressed. Many of us fall into frustration when things don't go our way. But it's in these moments that practicing acceptance from Stoicism becomes the key to mastering our emotions. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing what's within our power and what isn't. When we stop resisting the inevitable and face reality as it is, we can direct our energy toward what truly matters: our thoughts, actions, and responses. One famous example from Stoicism is the story of Epictetus, a philosopher who was born into slavery. Despite his harsh circumstances, he chose to focus on what he could control: his mindset and reactions. He famously said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." By accepting his situation rather than resenting it, Epictetus developed resilience and wisdom that shaped his philosophy. This story reminds us that acceptance isn't about weakness, it's about strength, empowering us to live in harmony with life's unpredictability. The Stoic perspective teaches us that acceptance helps you redirect your energy toward what you can influence, instead of wasting it on things beyond your control. Imagine how much lighter and freer you would feel if you stopped trying to control the uncontrollable. Acceptance doesn't mean indifference or passivity. It's about gaining control over your emotional responses and reclaiming your mental peace. Now, reflect on your own life. What challenges would become easier if you practiced acceptance? How would your emotional state improve if you stopped trying to control things beyond your power? Maybe it's a difficult work situation, a strained relationship, or an unexpected change in your personal life. Imagine the sense of liberation you'd feel if you stopped resisting reality and instead learned to flow with it. You can start practicing acceptance today by identifying one stressful situation that's outside your control. Acknowledge the reality of the situation. Resisting it won't change anything. Then shift your focus to what you can control. your thoughts, reactions, and actions in the face of that challenge. By doing this, you regain emotional strength and resilience. When you embrace acceptance, you stop wasting emotional energy on things that are beyond your control. Instead, you focus on what truly matters, your responses and actions. By letting go of the futile struggle against circumstances, you'll experience a newfound peace and clarity. Acceptance is not surrender. It's a path to true freedom and empowerment. 4. Cultivating patience. Patience is a rare gem in our fast-moving world, where the rush for immediate results often overshadows the value of enduring calmly through delays. Imagine approaching each challenge with a steady and composed mindset, rather than being swept away by frustration. Cultivating patience is not merely about waiting, it's about how you manage your reactions and maintain inner peace. In a society that prioritizes instant gratification, the art of patience can seem almost counterintuitive. Yet, Stoic philosophy offers profound insights into how we can master this essential skill. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our responses to external events rather than the events themselves. This principle helps us navigate life's uncertainties with grace. To integrate patience into your life, start with simple daily practices. Incorporate mindfulness exercises to become more aware of your emotional responses and identify triggers of impatience. Set small goals to improve how you handle minor annoyances. For instance, when waiting for a response to a crucial email, focus on what you can do in the meantime rather than dwelling on the delay. Mastering patience brings immediate and tangible benefits. It reduces stress and provides a sense of control over your emotions, allowing you to approach life's challenges with a calm and balanced perspective. Reflect on your own experiences with patience. How do you handle delays or frustrations? Share your insights and make a commitment to practice at least one Stoic technique this week. Embrace the journey of cultivating patience and discover its transformative power. By applying Stoic principles, you'll find greater freedom and peace in your daily experiences. Yet, Stoicism teaches us that patience alone isn't enough to maintain inner peace. 5. Cultivating gratitude. Gratitude, a core Stoic virtue, plays an equally essential role in mastering our emotions. Rather than merely focusing on what we don't have or the difficulties we face, the Stoic mindset encourages us to appreciate the present moment, the lessons hidden in adversity, and the many small blessings we often overlook. Gratitude in Stoicism isn't about ignoring hardship or pretending that life is easy. Instead, it's about recognizing that everything we encounter, whether good or bad, can serve as an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, often reflected on how even difficult experiences could be transformed into valuable lessons. In his meditations, he reminded himself to be content with what nature brings, emphasizing that every situation, no matter how challenging, can offer us something to be thankful for, if we choose to see it. For instance, when we face a setback, rather than complaining, a Stoic response would be to appreciate the chance to develop resilience and learn from the experience. In today's world, where the pressure for instant gratification is constant, practicing gratitude might seem counterintuitive. We are conditioned to seek more, to strive for the next achievement, and to fixate on what's lacking in our lives. Yet, the Stoics remind us to shift our focus. Instead of being frustrated by unmet desires or obstacles, we can choose to acknowledge the value of what is already within our control. Epictetus, another prominent Stoic, famously said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This perspective allows us to reduce anxiety and dissatisfaction by appreciating the richness of the present moment. To practice Stoic gratitude in modern life, start with a simple exercise. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on what you are thankful for, especially during times of stress or disappointment. When you find yourself facing a challenge, ask, "What can I learn from this?" By shifting your mindset from frustration to gratitude, you not only build emotional resilience, but also cultivate a deeper sense of contentment. Embracing Stoic gratitude allows us to remain grounded in an unpredictable world, strengthening our ability to maintain calm and balance no matter the circumstances. 6. Building self-esteem. In moments of self-reflection, it's natural to wonder how we can foster a stronger sense of self. Have you ever questioned your own abilities when faced with difficult situations? This inner conflict, so common in the fast-paced world we live in, often stems from placing too much value on external validation. But what if your self-esteem didn't rely on the approval of others? What if instead it was built on something far more enduring, your own internal virtues and mindset? The timeless philosophy of Stoicism offers powerful insights on how to cultivate inner confidence and self-worth that cannot be shaken by external forces. In a world dominated by social media, status, and the constant need for validation, it's easy to lose sight of the core values that define us. Many people find themselves measuring their worth by what others think of them, leading to a fragile sense of self-esteem. Stoicism, however, teaches a different approach. The Stoics believed that self-esteem is strengthened not by seeking approval from others, but by focusing on what is truly within our control, our actions, thoughts, and responses. Consider how the Stoic philosopher Epictetus approached life. "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters," he once said. This powerful statement reflects the core of Stoic thinking, that self-esteem is not defined by external events, but by how we choose to interpret and respond to those events. Imagine receiving harsh criticism at work. While you may not control others' opinions, you can control your response. Instead of letting the feedback erode your confidence, you can reflect on its validity and decide whether it serves your growth or is simply noise. A practical step to building self-esteem through Stoicism is to begin identifying areas where you often look for external validation. Perhaps it's in your career, relationships, or even your appearance. Instead of seeking recognition, start acknowledging your own efforts. If, for example, you feel a need for validation at work, set personal benchmarks for success based on your values. This way, your self-worth becomes less about external outcomes and more about your own consistent efforts. By internalizing the Stoic approach to self-esteem, you will not only feel more confident, but also enjoy a newfound emotional freedom. The opinions of others will hold less sway over your sense of self-worth, and you'll find a deeper, more stable confidence rooted in your actions and values. Stoicism reminds us that our self-esteem is not determined by how others see us, but by how we live in accordance with our principles. So take that first step. Start building a self-esteem that thrives from within, one that remains unshaken by life's ups and downs. 7. Developing empathy. Mastering emotions is a challenge for many, and the key often lies not in suppressing feelings, but in transforming how we perceive others. Empathy, a virtue praised by Stoics, can serve as a powerful tool in this process. Think about this. Instead of merely controlling your reactions, what if you could truly understand the emotions of others? This shift in perspective offers a deeper, more effective way to manage emotional responses. Take a moment to reflect on how often you find yourself caught in arguments or misunderstandings. In those heated moments, what if instead of feeling frustration or anger, you could understand why the other person feels the way they do? This isn't about denying your own feelings, but about creating a path towards emotional mastery through understanding others. The Stoics emphasized empathy as a fundamental aspect of emotional resilience. Consider the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who lived much of his life as a slave. Despite the suffering and oppression he endured, Epictetus chose to respond with empathy rather than resentment. He understood that his oppressors were driven by ignorance and fear, which allowed him to maintain emotional control and inner peace. His ability to empathize, even in the harshest circumstances, exemplifies the Stoic practice of emotional mastery through understanding others. How different might our lives be if we approached every interaction with empathy? Instead of letting emotions take control during moments of frustration, what if we paused to consider the other person's perspective? Not only would we become more composed, but our relationships would likely become stronger and more harmonious. Empathy allows us to see beyond our own emotions, giving us the clarity to respond with reason rather than reaction. Developing empathy isn't a complex task. It starts with small but intentional actions. The next time you feel frustration or anger rising, stop and ask yourself, what might this person be going through that I don't understand? This simple question can change how you respond, leading to more balanced and thoughtful interactions. The power of empathy lies in its ability to shift our emotional focus from reaction to reflection. Now is the time to put empathy into practice. The next time you're in a challenging situation, before you react, take a deep breath and consider what the other person might be feeling. Commit to understanding them first, and watch how this approach transforms not only the conflict, but your own emotional state as well. Share your experiences and reflect on how this simple yet profound Stoic tool, empathy, helps you master your emotions. 8. Self-care. Have you ever wondered whether you're truly taking care of yourself? In the hustle and bustle of modern life, it's easy to get caught up in work, responsibilities, and social pressures, forgetting our own essential needs. However, self-care is not a luxury. It's a vital part of maintaining inner balance and emotional control, a core principle of Stoicism. In Stoic philosophy, self-care is not about indulgence, but about fostering both physical and mental well-being to achieve resilience and inner peace. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wrote in Meditations, "Take time for yourself." He wasn't suggesting mere relaxation. Rather, he emphasized that self-care is essential for maintaining control amidst life's turbulence. For Stoics, self-care goes beyond physical wellness. It includes nurturing the mind and spirit as well. Today, with work pressures ever growing, family responsibilities piling up, and the constant influence of social media, the need for self-care is more urgent than ever. We're constantly stretched thin, both in time and energy, and neglecting ourselves only leads to burnout and a loss of emotional control. Seneca, another renowned Stoic philosopher, highlighted the importance of knowing one's limits and setting aside proper rest. He believed that without caring for ourselves, we become easily overwhelmed by life's passions and stresses. Instead of viewing self-care as purely external acts like going to a spa or shopping, Stoicism reminds us that true self-care involves mental awareness and emotional clarity. This could be as simple as taking quiet time for yourself to reflect or practicing gratitude. Try starting small. Take 10 minutes each day to meditate or reflect on what you've experienced, or simply take deep breaths and rest. These brief moments of self-care will recharge your energy and prepare you for the challenges ahead. Remember, self-care not only re-energizes you, but it also gives you a deeper sense of control over your emotions and moods. When you dedicate time to caring for yourself, you'll not only feel lighter, but you'll also find that you can face life's demands with more calmness and clarity. Ask yourself, what's stopping you from making time for yourself? And can you start changing that today? Try shifting your approach now. Don't wait for something grand. Start with small but consistent steps. When you master the art of self-care, you'll find that your life becomes more manageable, more peaceful, and more fulfilling. 9. Lifelong learning. In the pursuit of personal growth and emotional balance, the practice of lifelong learning stands out as a powerful tool. Imagine how continual learning can reshape your ability to manage emotions and achieve inner tranquility. Within the framework of Stoicism, this ongoing journey of acquiring knowledge and skills is more than just an academic exercise. It is a fundamental aspect of mastering one's emotions. Lifelong learning transcends the mere accumulation of information. It represents a commitment to adapt and evolve in response to life's challenges. In our fast-paced, ever-changing world, this approach is crucial. By continuously expanding your understanding, you build resilience and maintain emotional equilibrium, even amid uncertainty. Reflect on the teachings of Stoic philosopher Seneca, who viewed personal development as central to emotional control. Seneca advocated for seeing every experience, whether positive or negative, as a learning opportunity. His perspective underscores that every challenge can enhance your character and insight, thereby improving your emotional management. By applying this Stoic principle, you learn to handle difficulties with greater calm and wisdom. Consider the impact of integrating lifelong learning into your daily routine. By dedicating time each week to explore new topics or refine existing skills, whether through reading philosophical texts, engaging in online courses, or practicing self-reflection, you actively contribute to your emotional growth. This proactive engagement with learning fosters resilience and helps you manage your responses to various life situations. To put this principle into action, start by identifying a specific area where further learning could benefit you. Whether it's developing new stress management techniques or delving deeper into philosophical concepts, set clear, actionable goals. By committing to this ongoing learning process, you not only enhance your knowledge, but also strengthen your emotional resilience. Embracing lifelong learning yields immediate rewards, including enhanced self-awareness and emotional stability. As you continue to grow and adapt, you'll experience a profound sense of empowerment and freedom, knowing that you are better equipped to handle life's challenges. Take the Stoic approach to heart and observe how it transforms your emotional experience. Share your lifelong learning goals or recent insights in the comments. Commit to a specific learning activity this week and engage with a community dedicated to personal development and emotional mastery. Apply the Stoic methods we've discussed to master your emotions. By understanding the source of your feelings, challenging negative thoughts, and practicing acceptance and patience, you can take control of your emotional world. Once you start using these techniques, you'll experience a calmer, more resilient life, unaffected by external circumstances. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and comment the number 1 below to share your own lessons. Don't forget to subscribe for more Stoic insights.